Tzvi Lebetkin, the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring the little bell. Ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And boy, are they dropping like flies. Yes, indeed they are. Flies after some kind of nuclear holocaust. There's lots of new videos dropping because there's just lots of stuff happening. It really is. There's just lots and lots of stuff happening. Some of that stuff is news. Do you remember when you're a kiddie winkle, the news was on at 9 o'clock at night, and you know, it didn't change that much. It was boring. And pretty much what they said on it had some kind of like connection to reality. Do you remember those crazy days in the 70s? Yeah, back when Captain Pugwash was, having fun with master baits and semen stains. If you're not from England, that's actually real, genuine children's TV show names, okay? There was a show called Captain Pugwash that did indeed. It was like a cartoon. It was like a bad cartoon, which, like, it wasn't like, you know, it was worse animation than, like, you know, the Star Trek 70s show. It was more like kabuki theater. It was really bad. It was really, really bad, but I loved it. Anyway, I didn't notice. One of the well, I didn't, because at the time I was a kid. One of the characters was called Master Bates, and another one was called Seaman Stains. I mean, really? See, could you imagine putting that on your resume? I play Seaman Stains. That's gotta be. You didn't expect that when you're in drama school. Being excited to play Seaman States. It reminds me, by the way, when I lived in the States, I had to go and got a green card. They had to go to a government approved doctor to get like your medical or what, I can't even remember, and like I picked the only Jewy name on it, right? And I went to this place like by the docks. It was terrifying. Absolutely, this is going to tie into what we're talking about. It was absolutely terrifying. It was like the wrong side of the tracks. It was it was like this doctor's sleep, but they had like a leather couch that was ripped and covered over with tape, and like and then all this like really scuzzy looking people were in there coming. I was like, and the nurse comes in and says, "I'm here for the semen. Who wants to see? Who's the semen?" I'm like, I don't think I want that extracted. Quite frankly, I'm not. I don't think I'm up for that. Right? I don't think. Turns out they were sailors because it was a government approved doctor. Man, that's so yeah. So calling people semen, that can happen. That can happen. I digress. We have some news to get. We have lots of different news to get to. We got Rusty Davis news. We got David Tennant. We got toy news. Actually, of all the video, I find the toy news the most interesting today. And then we got the absolute burning heart and reason why the Jodie Whittaker Christian from Doctor Who has been such an absolute failure. Because this is the one thing they've been shooting for, and they got it. Congratulations to them. You know, just enjoying my coffee. This is strange to me. I'm recording this on Friday to put it out on Friday. I've got into this nice routine of putting videos out, recording them like a day or so in advance. But news videos, you should really, it's good because I actually got an extra news story to put in it. You should really put them out, ASAP. Fine, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those things are fan-dabby. And you guessed it. They're not just fan-dabby dozy. They're not just fan-dabby double dozy. They're fan-dabby triple freaking dozy. I've upped it a dozy just for you on today. Fan-dabby triple dozy. If you're subscribed, make sure you're still subscribed. If you're not subscribed, what's wrong with you? Really? I mean, like, didn't you wake up to say that I want to make a rabbi happy? Did you not wake up and think that? Well, there you go. Now you can fulfill that need by clicking the subscribe button. Thank you very much. Both here on Rumble. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button, baby. Rumble for me. And then Substack. I have a link to my email newsletter. Now, I've been a bit remiss on this week. I tried to send out more content on it, especially the paid one, which is $5 a month. And this week, actually, this month, I've had this week I've had a strange attack of mental health, which made me see what a strange, long attack of mental ill health I've had so for a long time. But that's like that. I'm not joking. Like, my mental health situation had not been good, and I didn't really realize it. But that's really, really eaten into my productivity. I promise to, well, without any legal commitment. But no, I do. I get more content out on it. I'm really sorry. What can I tell you? I've literally been a basket case. I don't think I can say that any clearer. I've literally been a basket case for the last couple of weeks. So that I've been this functional, quite impressive. But I will be sending more content. But please sign up to my Substack. Thank you very much. Fine. Let us get to the news. Speaking of basket cases. Lots of Rusty Davis buzz. The video I'm recording after this is the shill media has somehow forgotten about Christian altogether, and they just think about Russell D. Davis, right? They just think about Russell. Now, if you notice this picture they have of him right here, this publicity though, it's basically exactly the same pose as the final Christopher Eccleston picture poster that went out just before Rose went out. It was that with Rose on it. It was just like nothing on it, but it was basically much that exact pose. So is Russell taking the piss? I don't know. He normally is. That's why I love Russell, right? He does like to take the piss. If you're not English, that means make fun of. Rusty Davis on this new era. God, I've never been in this territory before, which I believe him, and I'm really excited. Right? It's always good news when a creative is creatively challenged. Right? Is in a new place creatively, and that's how you get the best stuff, right? And that's why creators always try and push forward and do new things, and not go do their greatest hits, which is what I think is going on here with Rusty Davis. I don't think this is his greatest hits. I think he's doing something new, right? Doctor Who showrunner Rusty Davis has spoken about returning to Doctor Who for a new era and his reason for coming back. I can't believe I haven't made a video about this. This sort of been flying around for a good few days now. Speaking to Radio Times, he said, "The truth of it is, everyone lies when they leave Doctor Who and they say, 'Oh, I've moved on. I've been thinking about it since I was 3, so there's no way of stopping thinking about it now. No way you stop thinking about it.'" Yeah, listen, that's very much obvious, Russell. It really is. There are things coming up that are brand new ways of telling stories that have never been done before. It just feels new. So that's Russell Davis, right there. Like, again, because he's topped the game, because he's top of his game, he wants to be on the cutting edge of storytelling, and I think this is what I think he's going to invent new ways of telling story with the technology that we have today, with the platforms we have today. And that's why, I'm more excited for that, I think, than the actual content. I think the content's going to be pretty darn good. But, like, are we going to get the TikTok adventures? I don't know. I don't know what we're getting. But I think we're getting new ways of telling stories, which is so exciting. Like, one of the things I was really disappointed and I really loved was virtual reality, which is breathtaking. And it's the most breathtaking technology. It didn't take off enough for it to really go. I got the PlayStation 3 PSVR. My wife got it for me for Hanukkah, the year it came out. And it's, again, breathtaking technology, like absolutely breathtaking technology. Essentially, it's only used for porn, right? Which is such a crying shame. I mean, listen, don't be wrong. Everyone's got to make a living. But it's such a crying shame. I was, on my live stream last night, I was talking about how awesome it would be if they could get that Jeffrey Wayne's War of the Worlds as a, well, first of all, why not do it as a, because I've never been to that big stage show version of it, that stadium show, and I always wanted to, right? But I figure, wouldn't it be great doing it as a virtual reality experience, like you're in the audience? And I thought, well, wait a minute, why not just make it for virtual reality, like you are there, right? And it's an entirely new way of telling stories, like, or you could do like Dante's Inferno. If you ever read From Hell, Alan Moore's From Hell, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. The final chapter of it is the main character's death experience, right? And that's the sort of thing when he goes, emanates throughout time, right? That's the sort of thing that VR would have been incredible to tell stories with, and I'm really, really gutted that it never took off, right? And it's so cheap. Here's the thing. Do I have one here? It was like a cardboard box you'd get for $20. You put your phone in, and it works, right? You get VR, but it was crazy. It's crazy how good it was. Only for porn, right? Only for porn. Would blow my freaking mind. But that's an example of something that would have been an incredible way to tell stories, right? An incredible new way to tell stories, which always excited about, right? So yeah, I'm actually. So I think Russell Davis excited about it. Fine, new ways of telling stories that have never been done before. It just feels so new. I wouldn't have come back if it wasn't feeling new. I'm sitting here now, 10 pages away from the climax, thinking, God, I've never been in this territory before. This is strange and new, and hopefully I'll learn something out of it. Oh God, I couldn't be more freaking excited. Okay, everything you're saying, Russell, is right. Everything you're saying, right. He continued. The reason I've worked on 34 programs in my life is I don't know like continuing series. That's why It's a Sin came to an end. I just moved on. But I like, which is, I had to say, this is kind of what, and I'm behind on my deadlines, but this is kind of what I want to do with my my comics, right? I would like my, do I want a copy next to me? Let me think. I did. Did I put it away? Did I? Oh, here it goes. Right, fine. This was this is one of my biblical. Really, okay. I'm really proud of this book. But anyway, you see this logo, right? I want that logo to not mean a genre, right? I don't want it to mean a genre. I don't want to mean I just want it to mean great stories that that always interest you, right? That's that. So yeah, I get it, right? I absolutely get it. It's fine. That's what it's just like I just like looking at a new set of challenges every time. And another blank page, but Doctor Who is always a blank page. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, I am so excited about that. I think it's going to be fantastic, absolutely fantastic. So who is the next Doctor? Is the question. Who, like we've been asking, who could be the next Doctor? The media has had this story and they've run with it often, right? They run with it, and they won't let it go. And it's just come back in. David Tennant backed as Booker's first choice to play Doctor Who again. I mean, do you reckon he'll play it with a beard if he is? I mean, how real do you think this is? You could go either way. You could absolutely go either way on it. But like they keep coming back. It keeps coming back. I think it gives it more strength. And I think people can say, well, we can imagine him appearing in a special, right? Or again, maybe they're going to do a 10th Doctor TikTok adventures. I don't know. Honestly, I hope they start a YouTube channel, right? Like they actually have a YouTube channel like this, like you know, like a real YouTube channel, because this is such a great way of communicating with the audience. And it was always great at that, wasn't he? David Tennant played the book's first choice. The Scottish actor famously played the 10th Doctor and was hugely popular with viewers before passing the baton on to the Crown's Matt Smith. I tell you, so when he first started, I thought this was a combination of wishful thinking, plus he was in the middle of doing Around the World in 80 Days, which I loved. Okay, I absolutely loved that. It was one of the most fun things I've seen in a long time. Fortunately, Resident Alien came back for the 4th episode, not painfully woke like it was the 3rd episode. Oh my God, that 3rd episode was crushing in every way. Spectator arrive for who will be taking over the role of the Doctor as Jodie Whittaker due to step down for TARDIS a good year later this. Step down for TARDIS for good later this year. Can't come soon enough. David Tennant, who played the title from 2005 to 2010 in the BBC series, has become the Booker's favourite to reply. Well, he has been for a while, right? But he did just get bumped up again, right? Scott has actually famously played the 10th Doctor and also Unit. What was it name? Unit officer. Brigand something or other. He was just not a very. He was not a very nice unit officer, as I recall. And also, was he also Mad Jamie in Medicinal Purposes? Quite a good big Finish play. By the way, The Annihilators that just came out this month. Awesome. Okay. Freaking awesome. That's another thing I'm doing today, recording a review of that. Absolutely fantastic. Isn't it great to be happy about Doctor Who, right? I think it's just great to be happy in general, but I'd be excited about it, say, that was good. It just feels good to me. Jodie Whittaker set to leave the TARDIS late year after becoming the first woman to destroy Doctor Who. Okay, fine. Not the first woman to destroy a franchise. I think you also had Michael Burnham-Ray stunningly and bravely slashing and burning our cultural heritage before our eyes and calling us bigots when we complain. Later this year, after becoming the first one to play Doctor in the sci-fi series, sending people spiraling over who will play the next time traveler. Who will play the time traveler next? I just don't think it's going to be a 14th Doctor, right? I do not think. I think it's going to be some kind of reboot adventure, is my guess. That's what I think. According to the British betting gambling company Ladbrokes, he's leading with 11 to 10 odds. Blimey. That's pretty short odds. That means we put like 10 pounds on, you get 11 back. Not really worth it, is it? That means they really think it's him. Apex Abadio Ladbrokes told the Express, rumours surrounding the sensational return of David Tennant are gathering speed, and the latest are suggesting that's exactly what the Chiefs have up their sleeve when coming to Jodie Whittaker's replacement. Could it? Yeah. Again, it's not good. Rusty Davison's coming back. It's not crazy. Earlier this year, BBC also said David Tennant will be coming back to the show and become the first actor to play a separate incarnation of the Time Lord. Doctor Who star Rachel Cassidy, which literally she was in one episode, right? That's not a star. One episode, right? And she was okay in that. I mean, wasn't the greatest episode. I don't get it. Okay, fine. Discuss the idea of David Tennant returning. The most famous role, admitting anything could happen. That is true. Anything could happen. Ragdoll 54 starred alongside Matt Smith at 11. It's such a tenuous link. I mean, if David wants to go back now, then that is fantastic. Why not? You know, it should be that anything can happen if he wants to. So 1 second, let me throw something else into the mix here, right? He was very, very beloved Doctor, and it will be really lovely. So let's go to Big Finish for a second, because this might well tie into it. This is a thought I had right now. If it takes too long to go over, I'll just talk you through it. So Big Finish, as I said, I listened to the Annihilators, which is a third Doctor story, season 7 story. But it's interesting. It's a double Doctor story, right? With the second Doctor showing up as well, but it's a second Doctor that's pretty. Firstly, he's played by Michael Troughton instead of Fraser Hines, which is a bit of a change. But he shows up, and Jamie's like with a 40-year-old Jamie. It's a much older Jamie, and you're like, well, what's going on, right? So the initial thought was they got the set called After the War Games coming, but no, Beyond the War Games, right? They got the set called Beyond the War Games coming. And this is like a throw forward to that, right? But he mentioned it in a tantalizing thing that he's a future incarnation. He's further down the road than the third Doctor. So are they doing that knowing, I mean, Nick Briggs knows Russell T Davies's plans, right? They know his plans. And if they're doing that, that could definitely tie into that could definitely tie into the reason they bring back David Tennant as another version of the 10th Doctor. I don't know. Listen, it's the thought I just had. I thought I would share it with you, but it doesn't seem crazy to me. Another reason it doesn't seem crazy is this, which is certainly gonna add a lot of fuel to this speculation. Doctor Who TV readers really want David Tennant and the 14th Doctor poll results. Let's have a look. So they did. Do you want him coming back? Was it somewhat is 3.7%, moderately is 5.14%. It's basically where I was somewhere between somewhat and moderately, right? Highly 10%, not happy at all 11.13%. That's surprising, right? And then 70%, 69.9%. As you know, 69, one of my favorite numbers. Not entirely true. Okay, how long have you been with my channel now? Okay, if you've been with my channel for a while, you know what's coming next. There's just some things I can't not do, right? Whenever I drive past the town, I don't drive, I'm in the car with my wife drives. Whenever I'm driving past the town next to it's called Alfie Menasha, I just reflexively go, Alfie! Because, that's how they called Alfie Moon in EastEnders. So I can reflectively do that. So whenever I see the number 69, I said, one of my favourite numbers. Not entirely true. I really like the 6. I do. I really super duper like the 6. Not a huge fan of the 9. No. I don't mind the 9. Listen, I will put up with the 9. I will do the 9 to get the 6. Okay, because I like the 6 that much. But That's my thoughts on that. Extremely happy. So this is going to pour fuel on that. So I don't know. Like, again, if they're bringing back Patrick Troughton as a future Doctor, do they know something about David Tennant's return? Could be, and you know he has been recording up a storm for Big Finish. So if we add in highly, we get 80%. So yeah, so extremely happy is 97. Add in highly, it's 80% of people, right? And then moderately and somewhat 88%. It's crazy. Okay, people really want him coming back. My guess is this, that yeah, but then this had 20,000 votes. That's really quite a lot, right? So my guess is this, that it could. I don't know, but my guess is that the first time that you experience something is the time that you think is the best version of it, right? So I think a lot of people's first time they experienced Doctor Who was with David Tennant, which is why they have such an incredible love for David Tennant. Right, so could it be? Who knows? It could be. Somebody who it probably isn't, of course, a big friend to Doctor Who is David Graham. David Graham, Doctor Who star, 96, housebound after suffering stroke. So I'm very sorry to hear this. I think the entirety of fandom will agree. Now, David Graham, famously voice of Parker and a Dalek. Also, he was in this. This was a fantastic vinyl. Here, let me show you. Like, I would. Funnily enough, I would love to get a vinyl player and start collecting vinyl. And I think to myself, why? Why? I'm not really that comedian. But yeah, look at it. Freaking vinyl. Wonderful thing it is. It came out about a couple of years ago. There's a mini disc that came along with Warp 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 magazine, which is a fantastic, absolutely fantastic bookazine. Like it's a thick thing about Doctor Who comics. So this is. Here, I'll show you the picture. See David Gerald right there, right next to a life-size Emperor Dalek. So freaking cool. So his voice. This is a dramatization of one of the Dalek strips. So yeah. Apparently he's not doing very well. Again, I think everybody watching wishes him a speedy recovery. David Graham is British acting royalty, although you may not instantly recognizable. There is no doubt that you've heard the characters he played. Graham played various roles in Doctor Who. He played the in Dalek Invasion Earth, like one. You know that kind of Dalek that sounded a bit dodgy. We are going. What shall we do? The one who sounded a little bit panicked. That's him. And various roles within Doctor Who, lending his voice in the mega successful Peppa Pig. I did not know that. And Thunderbirds. Following a hugely successful career, at the end of last year, friend and fellow actor George Layton revealed the 96-year-old has, well, this is hardly news, it's last year, and has suffered a stroke. Well, okay, well, I hope him, I really do wish him a speedy recovery. TV series as well as the film Thunderbirds. Okay, it's been a bunch of stuff. David Graham. We all know David Graham. Here's a picture of him, right? Again, wish him a very speedy recovery. David Graham, probably we all have toys of that somehow connected with David Graham, which is a neat way to seg into the next story. New Doctor Who toys. Warriors of the Deep box set. What are they thinking? I mean, okay, look, these sculpts look beautiful. These sculpts look absolutely beautiful. Packaging, fantastic as well. I'll say actually mediocre. Not fantastic at all, right? They look fantastic. But like £30 for 3 figures. I don't want any of them. Warriors of the Deep is a truly awful story. Right? I hate to tell you this. I'll watch it again when the Blu-ray comes out that season. And normally when I watch truly awful stories on the Blu-ray, I reevaluate. All of season 24, right, has gone way up in my estimation. But this was a truly awful story. I just don't understand. Do not understand at all what on earth they're thinking. Maybe put a Tegan in. I don't know. Maybe that would have been a good idea. There's a lot of things they could have done, which would have been a good idea. This is just dull, right? Absolutely dull. But listen, I wish them every success. But there has been quite a lot of consternation recently about the lack of current era Jodie Whittaker figures. Like, what is going on with that? Why are there no Jodie Whittaker figures? And Jodie Whittaker fans are quite reasonably upset. So this was put to bed recently by this news story over here. Now, I blanked out the name of the person because he put it on Twitter, right? So, but I blanked out the name of the person sending this email, who is the customer service supervisor, and the person you're sending it to. I don't have their permission, so I'm not going to put it out there. But I'm not making this up. Why would I? Right? Why? The minute they start making the next Jodie era figure, then I'm lying about this, right? So yeah. So let's read this. So, yeah, people have been very, very upset. And so they finally got a response. Further to your email, I can confirm that Character Options do not hold the current license for Doctor Who. So when did that happen? When did that happen, right? My guess is this. They were contractually forced to make that last box set with then the Jadoo, they only had to put an afro on it, but they were forced to make Ryan and Graham and Yaz, and none of them sold, right? I don't think any of them sold. I don't think anybody wanted them. I wonder why there was another company doing a Jodie 5-inch figure, right? I thought that was really weird. I guess that's why. Look, why do they not have the license? Because it's not profitable to have the license. Because the core property, the absolute core property, isn't very good, right? If the central core property isn't very good, nothing about this is really going to work, right? And that's just the reality. I don't know what to tell you. That is just reality, right? I don't be upset when reality comes knocking, right? We therefore have no plans to introduce new products from this range. Classic figures are ongoing. Look at the DVD sales of the classic Blu-rays compared to the current. I mean, I don't see many people buying Doctor Who Flux. I mean, that's not true. I see people buying it, not great numbers. I don't see many people buying it because they liked it. Okay, I think they might buy it because they know they have their son likes Doctor Who and they think it's good. Like, people buy it to be nice, and that's always the worst thing, right? If somebody buys you, gives you a Jodie DVD, you're like, and they don't realize they're giving you, a kryptonite. Give it away, no. So you have to be nice, obviously. It was given as expression of love. But actually, somebody, a viewer, commented, got in contact, said, "Listen, I don't know what to do." I said, "Listen, you got to just focus on it being an expression of love." Listen, don't take my word for it. I was literally mentally ill less than a week ago. Okay, I'm not exaggerating. I am genuinely not exaggerating. But I think I'm normal now, so so maybe take my word for it. I don't want to tell you. But anyway, yeah. So that's that. But there are still great products coming out. There are still fans. So this one I saw, and I'm like, this is something I really want. I got to work out how to get this. From Hallmark. Who wouldn't want this? It's gorgeous. Oh my god. This is yes, I don't know how it looks small, but it looks so cute. I really want to get one of these, and I have to find out when they're on sale. But this is lovely, right? More of this, and it basically shows you how great Doctor Who is, right? It shows it's fantastic. Listen, character, look at this. This is fun, right? This is fun. Really, if I may quote the Fifth Doctor, there should have been another way. Okay, there should have been another way. Why Warriors of the Deep? Really? Why am I thinking about Warriors of the Deep? Something I'd rather think about is how stunning and brave Jodie is, right? So this is the reason Doctor Who has been garbage for the last few years. TV has been garbage for the last few years because entertaining the public is not that important. Getting approbations for being good people on the right side of history. That's what it's all about, baby. So the British LGBT... what's the Q? Bigots. But the LGBT Awards 2022 you can vote on them now. BritishLGBTAwards.com. So you fill in the information. Are you a broadcaster or a journalist, right? Oh no, which broadcaster or journalist you like? Okay, fine. MTV Music Artist, Media Moment. Okay, what me? Born This Way, 10-year anniversary. I have no idea what any of this stuff. Sex education, non-binary representation. They have Doctor Who in it. No, Doctor Who doesn't make it in there. LGBT plus. Hello, let's see who they are. Ben Wisher. Okay, Ben Wisher. Billy Porter. I don't know. Don't know. Lady Gaga. I don't know Lady Gaga. Honestly, why would I know Lady Gaga was gay? It's like, whatever you want to do. Ollie Alexander. I had a feeling he might. I got a bit of gaydar with him, right? Russell Tovey, same with him. Tanai Miller. I'm not surprised. Anyway, this is the reason it's been so awful, right? Celebrity ally. Along here is we have Alicia Keys, Dan Reynolds, Daniel Radcliffe. How's Daniel Radcliffe? Okay, whatever. Davina McCall, Ellie Goulding, Jane Thurwood. Don't know. Jamie Lee Curtis. Really? Oh yeah, her daughter's trans, I believe. And Jodie Whittaker. This is to be on this list of people is the reason that Doctor Who has been unwatchable, like absolutely unwatchable for years. It's because this is what's mattered. Not telling good stories is what mattered, not character, right? But this is all that mattered, which makes this article somewhat less surprising, right? LGBTQ plus representation in Doctor Who. So this came out 3 days ago. 3 days. Let's read this thing. So I don't know if they're happy about it or unhappy about it. I guess we'll find out. A downgrade from 2005. This contains spoilers for the most recent episodes of Doctor Who. When I was around 12, I started to realize I wasn't quite like other people in my grade. Again, this is such a common thread with Doctor Who fans, right? Which is why I think it's got such a large LGBTQ plus audience, right? Me too, right? I looked at things a different way, right? I looked at things that, I keep mentioning my bout, with my lengthy bout, which was kind of like a lifetime bout with mental illness. Again, I'm talking about a lot because I was a bit surprised when now I've seen it. But like, one of the reasons I didn't realize I was sick is because a good indicator you have that you're mental, right? That you're bonkers is that you do crazy things, right? Now, I've done crazy things all my life. Like I did, and people were like, "Oh, that guy's crazy." Yeah, he already said I'm crazy. So that's it. So yeah, because I'm a bit different, and that's why I love Doctor Who. I think that's why you probably like Doctor Who as well, because you felt a bit different. And the Doctor is somebody who revels and makes you feel good about feeling a bit different. I was starting to understand my interests were not aligned with those of my peers. Now, imagine my reaction when I witnessed a man kissing another man in a science fiction TV show. My family was watching it together. The show was, of course, Doctor Who, and my family has continued to watch it together to this day. And honestly, that I thought that Captain Jack kiss of the Doctor it felt somewhat unnecessary, but in 2005, was it necessary in terms of representation? I don't know. I felt a bit weird about it, right? It just felt like it was shoehorned in. But anyway, fair enough. Look, it made this person very happy, and it didn't bother me, so I'm fine with it. The show was originally aired in 1963, and the plot often contradicts itself. But the basis of the show is that there's an alien known as a Doctor with the ability to regenerate, which follows them through, and the show follows them and their companions as they travel through space and time. I'm going to start my discussion by bringing you all the way to the original from 1963 to 89. If you consider TV show as canon, it includes no queer characters on a primary children's show, and queer people have been deemed inappropriate. No! I disagree. I think an overt sexuality was deemed inappropriate for children's programs. You do not have to have, I don't know, I didn't get the feeling that Jago and Lightfoot was straight or gay, you know? They could be gay. I don't know. They could be straight. I never got a feeling that they were. It seemed to be like, why would that be a part of the story, right? I didn't see Jago's wife, right? I didn't. Did you? No. I didn't see his wife. They could be straight. They could be gay. How does it matter? So they're like, Sharon's Jack. Is Sharon's Jack straight? Is he gay? I don't know. Does it matter? No. You know, I don't know what to tell you. Like, I don't know, are the sisters of Karl lesbians? I would like to hope so. And if anybody wants to make, any Doctor Who porn parody, that'll be a good place to start, right? I guess the sisters of Karl. But why does it matter, right? And that's the thing. I understand that your identity, this person's identity as a gay person, as a queer person, which is the parlance they like, that they normally use, is very important to them, right? But that importance makes it less important to other people. It's weird, right? It's like counterintuitive. It's very strange how that happens, but that's exactly what happens. Fine. This is fine on its own, but once you start to look into the greater history of Doctor Who lore, it all breaks down. There's a variety of novels, audio dramatizations, and comics were released afterwards and effectively rewrite stories of the characters to be queer. Well, that's because they're such a huge gay demographic, especially amongst the creators. And honestly, if I get a novelization, I get one of the best novelizations of a TV plot. Well, a TV episode was Remembrance of the Daleks. And if they added in, did they add in one of the characters? They talked about Professor Jensen being Jewish, right? But if they added in the character being gay, which they basically did a lot of the time in the New Adventures, which was the continuation of that from the mid 90s, in the early 90s, I should say. It's that's where it worked. That's where it was appropriate. Again, it was just we didn't have any discussion on sexuality. While this may seem a win for diversity, it doesn't actually change how character was originally written, which was straight. No, again, how do you know Jago was straight? How do you know Sil is straight? I don't know. How do you know Helen Ace? I mean, really? Happiness Patrol? You want to tell me there's no gay subtext in Happiness Patrol? Really? How can you get gayer, quite frankly? In 2000, the show relaunched by Russell D. Davis, who was an openly gay man, and you may be familiar with the writing of Queer of Folk and It's a Sin. The first openly gay queer character that appeared made his appearance was in the first season was Captain Jack Harkness, played by openly gay actor John Barrowman, who's now completely cancelled. All right, and that was fine, right? Because it wasn't about him being gay, right? He was omnisexual, and it wasn't about that. It was about this wonderful, wonderful character that we all loved, right? And his sexuality was something that was not that big a deal. Like Rose was straight, right? We saw Rose and Mickey. They got apart from Mickey from Parallel Universe, he was gay, right? But it didn't matter, right? Because that's not who they are. They're people, right? 51st century flirts with the Doctor, blah blah blah. And the woman he was traveling with, kissing them. In fact, he talks about the scene where he kisses them both. However, instead of dying, he becomes immortal, successfully avoiding the bury your gaze trope. And again, I think you should be a little less precious about this thing. After the first season of Doctor Who, Jack was given his own spin-off show called Torchwood, which aired from 2006 to 2011. Torchwood was aimed towards an adult audience, and the show took full advantage of its target audience. And that's sort of, I think, the weakest part of season one was how every character had a same-sex relationship going on in one way or another. Even Owen Harper, who seemed... the character seemed super straight to me, right? One episode is about an alien that takes the form of a gaseous cloud and gets her energy from making men orgasm. If you need power, baby, just give me a call, okay? I'll charge you up, okay? There's a lot there I could do for you. Subsequently killing them. Oh well, there you go. Swings and roundabouts. I should have finished the sentence before volunteering myself. Torchwood holds a special place in my heart, partially due to the fact that every single character is bisexual, pansexual, and they don't shy away from their sexuality. The show includes multiple well-written same-sex relationships, that's been true of note, between Jack and Yanto Jones. Unfortunately, Torchwood only got 3 seasons, and I don't count Miracle Day. Well, you should. As it was produced by the US company and not the BBC, but Jack, it just went on for too long, right? But that Jack has shown up in multiple episodes of Doctor Who towards and his most recent appearances was in 2021. Yeah, basically brought in to save Chris Chibnall, and you see when he was brought in, the ratings went up. It's just the way it was. Well, as Jack departed, there's no explicitly queer companions, but again, there are so many characters that we so love, right? I mean, it's so much. Is Cyber Leader gay? I don't know. Could be. I doubt they have cyber bottoms and cyber penises, which I think two things that you might need to be cyber gay. Okay, I tell you. Is Nyder gay? Who cares? Is he straight? I mean, I don't know. Like, so many great characters throughout time. It's staggering my imagination. You know, is Duggan gay? Is he straight? I don't know. Okay, fine. Clara Oswald, who was on the show from seasons 7 to 9, could be considered bisexual, but it's never explicitly shown. Her only romantic relationship, well, she was multiple people. You know, she could have been gay in one of them. I mean, like, she played many versions of herself. This was never explained in the show, but I recently found out there was a book that officially confirms her as being bisexual. The next character is River Song, who appeared off and on throughout seasons 4 to 9. River is married to the Doctor while he was in a male form. What? Always. But it's never mentioned to be married to a woman before, although it was never... Again, you got to understand that you are a minority. And writing a minority as if they're the norm, it doesn't work, because that doesn't reflect the society you're supposed to be entertaining, and it feels inauthentic, right? Now, I'm all for writing stories about how minorities shouldn't feel oppressed for not being the norm, but why are we pretending that they are the norm? They're not. Most people are straight. It's just most people are straight. Again, should anybody be beaten up, harassed, or in any way disadvantaged by being gay? Well, I would say no. That would be awfully hypocritical in Western civilization, wouldn't it? It seems like a bad way to treat people. But because of that doesn't mean that most people are gay. Most people are fine with you being gay, but most people aren't gay, right? And then when it's all about being gay, it's like it falls apart, as we've seen for the last few years. The last character to fit the trope is the Master, who was the Doctor's childhood friend, originally appeared as a man. I don't think it's an exaggeration to say there's a lot of queer subtext surrounding their relationship. It's a little bit of an exaggeration. Honestly, I can't imagine Delgado and the Third Doctor. Can't imagine it at all. I can't imagine Ainley and the Fifth Doctor, or the Sixth Doctor, or the Seventh Doctor. The gayest Doctor's the Sixth Doctor, isn't he? I mean, you've got the rainbow thing going on, but he still strikes me as a bit of a top, right? That's what I thought. But yeah, I get no gay off. Okay. This was only at Haito in 2014 when the Master regenerated and changed her nickname to Missy when she became a woman, and I thought that was really good. In her first episode, she describes the Doctor as a boyfriend and kisses him senseless while when they meet for the first time, which was brilliant, perfectly in character, loved it. It wasn't until 2017 when we had a full-time queer companion, Bill Potts, and the only thing bad about that companion was the repeated focus on her sexuality. If they, honestly, they could have mentioned it in the first episode, the pilot, and the last episode. I don't think it really needed to be brought up over and over and over again throughout all the episodes in between, right? We know she's a lesbian, right? It doesn't have to be a central focus. I mean, like, really, Pyramid at the end, the one before that, actually, the one before the Pyramid trilogy, which I like the Pyramid trilogy, she's out on a date, and the Pope comes in. I'm like, enough! Like, and this was Stephen Moffat who could write. She spends the first episode trying to save the girl she's interested in, and in the later episode, that ends up to be her fate. In the future episode, she says she's not interested in men. This leads to a very memorable scene after meeting with a group of Roman soldiers. Yeah, listen, we're fine. And then it said talk about how she became a Cyberman, and then she was saying, "I do not think her ending could have been handled better." Basically, the time the water entity woman came and saved her from being a Cyberman. Brilliant. I thought it was great, right? I don't think her ending could be handled any better, and I appreciate the efforts the writers put in because it was great. In 2018, the Doctor regenerated for the 13th time, or the 12th time. I don't know, 13th, but more Doctor. But instead of turning into a white man, again, what's that got to do with the price of tea in China? Instead of being a white man, they regenerated into a white woman. Okay, we tried. Played by Jodie Whittaker. As expected, this change in gender led to a lot of fans being very, very angry, and I believe she's been doing a magnificent job as a Doctor. Do you believe that based on the actual episodes? Because I don't think you believe that, right? I think you believe that based on representation. Right? I think you believe that based on representation alone. It's just the quality hasn't been very good. I know she's done a terrible job. However, and there were fans angry, but I think the vast majority of fandom, and I was there. Don't take a poop on my doorstep and call it chocolate. I know what I was there for. I know what happened. I was there, right? I was there. Most people were completely behind it, myself included, who have a YouTube channel with hundreds of hours of content going over how much I hate it, right? And I was on board for it, right? So don't tell me, the fans, it was a tiny minority, and the worst bit about them all, they were all proved right. Every one of them was proved right. However, this does lead into the idea of how gender and sexuality works for their alien species. It was stated in the previous seasons that they don't subscribe to the same notions of gender as us, and it's very easy to read the different regenerations of the Doctor as being gender fluid. Not really. Not really. The idea of regeneration made you gender fluid is very, very recent. Very recent. In fact, back when Big Finish did the Doctor Who Unbound range in the, I'll say 2000 and early in the 2000s, right? They did their Unbound range. They did one with the female Doctor, Arbilla Weir played the Doctor. To become that Doctor, they changed gender at that time. It's not that long ago. I had to commit suicide to change gender, right? I want to tell you, it's a new idea. This change is also the fortune concern making all her previous relationships gay. Okay. As yet, she has not mentioned her why, but I keep my fingers crossed. This brings to them the recently confirmed queer companion, which is Yasmin Khan, who has been present for 3 seasons, and there's been some minor queer subtext throughout her episodes, but it was only in the most recent episodes she admits she has romantic feelings for the Doctor. Didn't really work, did it? Didn't really work. I mean, again, lowest ratings of all time. Can I remind you, it got a 2 million live viewing, right? 2 million live viewing. That was the lowest rated episode in the history of Doctor Who, right? In the history of Doctor Who. It feels as though the writers, just missed a line or two. It is implied that Yas never told anyone she was gay before. Maybe she's just gay for the Doctor, because the Doctor's so awesome. So awesome, so stunning, and so brave. Where are we? It is implied before, and while having an arc about a woman discovering her sexuality is fantastic, I don't think it was done to the standards it deserves, and it is too little too late. Jesus, really? Really? You can't please bloody anyone, can you? Bloody hell. Here, I've given you exactly what you wanted. Exactly. Oh, you're not happy? Oh, okay. What can I tell you? Widow's only going to be in 2 more episodes before a version of Doctor regenerates or dies. We're going to find out. And I don't think there's enough time to properly create romance between the two of them at this time. It feels as though the writers saw a lot of fans online who were shipping the Doctor and Yaz, and they decided to create romantic feelings based on that. I keep in mind this is essentially her second season, season 12, was written before they got the feedback of season 11, right? So it was only by the time they got the flux they could have really change course and really put it in. Which they did. I mean, no, it was very clear in Revolution of the Dalek that she fancied the Doctor. It's decided to create a random video on the base on it. It doesn't seem as if it was plotted out in advance. However, Rusty Davis, who left in 2010, is coming back in 2023. We can only hope he'll continue a streak of having well-written queer characters and relationships. And I think that's exactly what we're going to get. I think that's exactly what we're going to get. Blimey, right? All that trouble, all that work to be inclusive. And you still get shit on when Rusty Davis shows up. It's not fun to be Chibnall. I think that's their take home today. It's not fun to be Chibnall. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin. You and I am from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you are notified when new videos drop.